Hello everyone and welcome again. So as you guys saw, we have two main scopes. The ground collapse and its entire setup, and then the last shot, which is the crack and with a spaceship flying through. We're going to focus 100% on the ground collapse because this one is going to cover everything we need for the other shot. Now I'm going to show what we're going to provide and my idea for what you guys should focus on and how to create something different. I'm going to provide the ground collapse scene, which includes the geometry, this part, the mountain, and then the ground itself. This is the destroyed version. Okay, I'm going to provide a version that doesn't have any Voronoi fracture on it, the raw mesh. And so we'll get the raw mesh, you will get this, and then you will get the spaceship. The spaceship is my version, which is a copy of, you can see the original one of the artist, and you are more than welcome to try, and this is what you should do. You should try and reuse this asset in any way you think it is possible. If you have a different asset, please feel free to use that. There is no restriction. In terms of idea, you can do a ground collapse like I did, or you can do the spaceship just rising from the ground. It doesn't have to be collapsing like they did in Star Wars, and I think that could be really, really cool. And you can have more than one spaceship, and the only thing is be careful of the distance, okay? Because I have a lot of resolution in my geometry and details. If you're not able to push all of that, that's perfectly fine. I'll provide 2 resolutions of each one, and you pick the camera and the version that you are able to handle. If you can't handle something very high res, that's perfectly fine. You can use the mid res and still get something decent. And then for the spaceship, you can decide any idea you want. You can have it even crash. If you want to crash the spaceship if you've taken the destruction workshop, you should be able to create a collapsing ground or a crater from it being hitting the ground, and then you get all the smoke effect. You can emit fire from the cracks like we're going to be doing. You can use lightning, or you can have the spaceship flying and something hit it and it falls down. You can do whatever idea you want. I'm going to provide some material, and it's up to you to create something different. If you want to recreate exactly what I did, that's perfectly fine, and it will be yours. It will be different, and I'm sure it will look very interesting as well. Okay, so the next thing I will have is this. So I'm going to provide this geometry, which is the crack, and you can see the geometry, and it has an extension here. See, there's a nice blend. It's not very nice, but yeah, it works. And then it's both sides. You can see they close on each other. Okay, and you are more than welcome to create whatever you desire from this. My idea is that I made 3 copies every time I push them close to each other to close the gap. That's the environment I had with a camera like this. The only note is, if you go this route, if you want to use this, for example, and pick 1 or 2 and have them crumble into the lava, be aware that you will have a lot of new R&D that you will need to develop. My lava technique does not rely on sims. Okay, it's purely procedural, and if you want to pursue the lava, you will have to go through fluid simulation and probably require the water effects workshop if you want to go that route. If you want to just collapse them and not show any interaction with the lava, that's perfectly fine. You can also process this geometry. I'm not so sure how, but you could, yeah, I don't have, maybe I'll provide one without any cracks. I will do that. So I will provide the geometry, a version of this that doesn't have any of these intermediate cracks, but it will be separated like this. So all these cracks will be closed, and then you will be able to blend shape between the two. If you want to separate them. I don't know if I can make the blend shape, but hopefully you will have two versions that you can play with. With this, you can have, for example, rocks in here and have them collapse, and then maybe a cliff or something from this area collapses, or maybe the spaceship as it travels through, it hits everything and then it collapses. Now this is heavy. This geometry is heavy. Okay, you would probably want to use a low res version and add some sort of displacement at render time or something like that. But I'll provide this, and then it's up to you guys to develop whatever visual you want. I think it's very, very interesting. I think it can create a very cool environment, and you can definitely use any of the techniques. If you've taken advanced asset workshop before, you can use that knowledge to scatter and improve this environment. You can build something like this, do whatever you would like. So that's what I will be providing, this, and then the spaceship, the other ground scene, and probably few cameras if you want to reuse the same ones. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in a bit.